Hello friends, welcome to my another video in the series of computer algorithms, and today we are going to start with another algorithm design technique that is called as greedy method. Prior to this we have discussed about the divide and conquer. So what does the divide and conquer methodology does is, for a given problem P, let us say if the given problem P is there, this particular problem P will be divided into multiple sub problems. Okay, let us say in this case 3 sub problems. We try to find out the solution to the first sub problem, we try to find out the solution to second sub problem, and we try to find out the solution to the third sub problem. And once we get the solutions of all these sub problems, we combine these solutions to get the solution of the problem P. So that is the methodology that we were using in divide and conquer. So in this particular lecture we will discuss about what is greedy method, what type of problems that are solved by greedy method, and what are the properties of that particular problems. Before moving ahead, I would like to tell you about myself. I am Professor Ram Gowda, and the contact details are given here on the screen. You can, if you want to contact me, you can contact me, and you can find out the lectures onto this particular website. Also, the links are available over there also. And another thing is that from this particular lecture, what I am going to do is, I am going to put a quiz of 5 questions into the description section. So in the description section of this video I am putting a quiz of 5 questions. Maybe since this lecture is going to be very small, so I'll put it for 3 questions. Along with that, I am putting the link of my channel, Telegram channel. So I am going to put the link of a Telegram channel, and if you are interested to learn more and if you want to ask me some questions, you can join to that Telegram channel. I also put the details of my Proforma, my LinkedIn link is also put. You can go and check my LinkedIn profile also. So with this, let us start and let us try to know about what is greedy method. So basically the greedy method works with the problems. So let us say this is a problem, and this particular greedy method is very much important to find out the best possible solutions. Now here I will tell you what is the meaning of best possible solutions at all, and that best possible solution is called as a optimum solution. Okay, so now here let us say a problem P is given. Suppose this is problem P. Now for a given problem P, there can be multiple solutions to this particular problem. There can be multiple solutions to this particular problem. So let us say for my problem there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 solutions. There are 7 solutions, and I can go with any of the solutions. I can go with any of the solutions. This is one type of problem. Another type of a problem is, I have a problem P. It has multiple solutions. Okay, it has many solutions rather. It can we can say that there are infinite solutions, but along with the problem, if I am defining a constraint and I have to find out all the solutions which follows this particular constraint, which follows the particular constraint. Okay, so in that case it is called as the constraint based problem. And again, if here let us say if I want to maximize my profit, let us say my problem is related to sales, and if I want to maximize my profit or minimize my loss, it becomes optimization problem. It becomes optimization problem. And greedy method is very much helpful in solving such type of a problem. So generally these problems, whatever the problems that we have, they are all of the size n. So whatever the problem that will be given, that will be of n input. Okay, and they require us to obtain a subset that satisfies some constraint, so we want to find out the subset which satisfies some constraint. Along with that, what we want to do is, we want to either maximize our profit or any entity, or we want to minimize any of the entity. So any one out of these two. We don't want to do both of them. Okay, all the solutions which are within the constraints. So all the solutions, so let us say my problem P has 3 solutions. So all these 3 solutions are called as feasible solutions. It is FEA, feasible solutions. So feasible solution is any solution which satisfies the given constraint. Out of these feasible solutions, whichever is giving me the best possible solution, best solution. So best solution is either maximum, which is a solution which is maximizing some entity, or a solution which is minimizing some entity. That solution is called as optimization problem. Optimal solution. That is called as optimal solution. So there are 2 types of solutions for this type of problems. So 2 things are very much important here to be understand. So one is so let me take a new screen and let me try to do it over there. I will take a new screen, white screen. So over here there are 3 things. What is a problem? So any problem which is whose size is n, and if this particular problem is to be solved by considering some constraints, then we can have all the solutions which follows the given constraints, whatever the constraint over here it is defined, these all solutions are called as feasible solutions. One solution or many solution out of this, again there can be minimum one and maximum many. One or many solutions are either maximizing the property. If your objective is to maximize, then one solution which is maximizing your, let us say, entity, that is profit, in that case this is called as a optimum solution. Or your intention may be minimizing some entity, so let us say minimizing the loss, that is an optimal solution. And maximization problem is a complement of minimization problem, and minimization problem is a complement of maximization problem. That is, if you are able to find out if the constraint is given and your problem is maximization problem, in that case the solution to the minimization problem is just a complement of maximization problem. It is just a complement of maximization problem. Okay, so this is first thing. This is what is a problem, what type of problem that we are going to solve. Next thing is, what is greedy method? Next thing that we have to discuss is, what is a greedy method? So how does greedy method solves the particular problem? So let us try to discuss that also. Let us move ahead and let us try to have a brief discussion on what do we mean by greedy method. So what is greedy method? Let us try to see. So whenever a problem is given P, let us say this particular problem is P, and we want to find out the best possible solution here. Now here our intention is to find out the optimal solution. Best possible solution means it is a optimal solution. These are the 2 things. So first thing is that greedy method tries to solve this particular problem in steps. It tries to identify what steps are to be taken. So it solves it by step. So that is what it does is, what does greedy method says is, it says that one can devise an algorithm that works in stages, considering one input at a time. So what we can do is, one input is considered and the best possible selection will be made. Consider the second possible selection, do the next possible selection, best for every time. So what it does is, every time the greedy method we were discussing, so every time it takes the best possible solution. We take screen, here it is there. So greedy method, what it does is, it takes it selects best possible solution, and best possible solution is selected on the basis of some selection criteria. So greedy method chooses some selection criteria, and based on that Based on that, the selections will be done one by one to get the best possible solutions. Once we start discussing the different algorithms, we will understand that what is the selection criteria. Okay. So generally, whatever this greedy method is there, it solves the subset paradigm problems, as well as can solve the subset paradigm problem wherein we want to find out some subset. And second one is it is also able to solve the suboptimal solutions, find optimal solutions from suboptimal solutions. So these are the parameters which the greedy method solves. So for example, I would like to give some examples over here. So let us have the brief discussion on this. The greedy method is the most straightforward design, and what's more is it can be applied to wide variety of the problems. So it is the most famous algorithm design technique for optimization problem. Then most of the problems here have n inputs, as I told previously, and require us to obtain the subset that satisfies some constraint, as previously told. Any subset that satisfies these constraints, they are all called as a feasible solution. Then out of these feasible solution, for us an objective function is given, and either we want to maximize this objective function or we want to minimize this objective function. So we need to find a feasible solution that either maximizes or minimizes the given objective function. And a feasible solution that does this, that does either maximizes the objective function or minimizes the objective function based on what is your requirement, that solution is called as a optimal solution. So there is usually obvious way to determine the feasible solution, but not necessarily the optimal solution. So for a given problem, we can find out multiple feasible solutions. Okay, but greedy method will help you. There are many other methods. There are many other algorithm design techniques, and they will be helping you finding out directly, without finding the feasible solutions, finding out directly the optimal solution. So this is how the greedy method works. So as an example, we will consider, this is an example called as a knapsack problem that we are going to discuss in the next video. So this is a knapsack problem. So what we want to do in knapsack problem is we want to maximize one equation. This is called as function. That function I am talking about is called as an objective function. This is an objective function. This whole is an objective function, and what I want to do is I want to maximize this objective function. Then what is the constraint? This is a constraint. This is a constraint. That is, there is some parameter wi, and which is when multiplied with xi and summation of all this is taken, it should remain with some value m. It should remain less than this particular value m. And xi is between 0 to 1 and I is between 1 to n. So problem size is n. Pi is profit, xi is the value of whether that particular item is selected or not. This problem we are going to discuss in the next video. So only I wanted to demonstrate in front of you that what type of problems are there. So this is called as an objective function, and this we want to maximize. And this is a constraint. This second one is called as a constraint. Rather, these all are constraints. There are three constraints. That is, this equation should be less than m. Then second one is xi should be in between 0 and 1, and I should be in between 1 to n. This is not a constraint. Only these two are the constraints. Let us move ahead. So these are the greedy method. How does it works? So as I told previously, that a greedy method suggests that one can devise an algorithm that works in stages, okay, considering one input at a time. At each stage, a decision is made regarding whether the particular input is an optimal solution or not. So we have to go on taking some decisions. Okay, and how we do this? We do this by considering the inputs in an order. We decide in what order we should consider them. Okay, so if on what basis we are taking the decisions is if inclusion of a next input into a partially constructed optimal solution will result in infeasible solution, then the input is not added. Otherwise it is added. Then the selection procedure itself is based on some optimization measure. Okay, so all these things are done. Then next point is this measure may be the objective function. In fact, several different optimization measures may be used for a given problem. Most of the problems will result in algorithms that generate suboptimal solutions. Okay, the version of greedy technique is called as a subset paradigm, wherein we are finding out the subsets, as I have told you previously. So this is how this particular greedy algorithm works. So what it does is, so there is a problem of size n, contains n inputs, then solution initially is 5, and then we take the decision that whether next item is to be considered or not. Next suboptimal solution, so x is equal to select a. If the given solution is feasible, then solution is added, and we do this for n times. And how do we check whether it is feasible or not? If it follows the given constraint or not, based on whether the given equation is following this constraint or not. Let me clear it. Based on this constraint, if it is following, if you're taking the next step is following this particular constraint, at that time we can continue with that. So this is how the given greedy method works. Okay, so finally we are going to return the solution. You will understand this one once you will once we will discuss one problem, and next problem is an abstract problem. The same problem definition is I have given as an example previously over here. This one is the problem definition of an abstract problem. We will discuss this one in a more detailed way. Okay, so in the next lecture. So before ending the lecture, I would like to request you to go through the form that I have given below. So that is a quiz form, and also join my Telegram channel if you are interested to learn more.